Welcome back to our channel. Want rare coins? Why Coins reveals the world's most valuable gems. Subscribe. The 1972 USA 1-cent penny is a coin that, at first glance, might seem entirely ordinary, blending in seamlessly with the other coins in your pocket change. However, like many seemingly mundane objects, this penny holds a story full of unexpected twists, historical significance, and a rare quality that elevates it far beyond its simple appearance. It's a coin that has captured the attention of collectors, numismatists, and anyone interested in the world of rare currencies. And while the 1972 penny might look just like any other, there's something about this particular coin that makes it extraordinary and valuable in ways that will surprise you. Let's step back in time to the early 1970s. The world was in a state of transition. The late 60s had ushered in an era of significant social and political change. In 1972, the U.S. was in the midst of dealing with the aftermath of the Vietnam War, civil rights movements, and economic shifts that would reshape the country. The country was experiencing a time of unrest and change, but amidst it all, the United States Mint was quietly working on producing the nation's currency for another year, just as it had done for more than a century. The year 1972 saw a particularly important time in the history of American coinage, specifically in regard to the 1-cent penny. The penny, as you may already know, has been in circulation for over 2 centuries. The 1-cent coin, which was first introduced by the U.S. Mint in the late 18th century, has gone through many design changes over the years. One of the most enduring features of the penny has been the image of Abraham Lincoln, which has adorned the front, or obverse, of the penny since 1909. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln portrait has become a hallmark of American currency. But, while Lincoln's image remained the same for the penny's obverse, it was the reverse design that would undergo numerous revisions over time. For decades, the reverse of the penny featured the iconic image of the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparro. This design, which was introduced in 1959, remained in place for a significant period, well into the 1970s, including 1972. The familiar Lincoln Memorial symbolized the American ideals of freedom and unity, with its grand columns representing strength and the preservation of the nation, but there was something else happening behind the scenes in 1972 that would set the year apart in the annals of numismatic history. The 1972 penny, like most other coins produced by the U.S. Mint, was struck in large numbers. However, not all 1972 pennies were created equal. A subtle yet significant error was introduced into the production process, a mistake that would soon send ripples through the world of coin collecting. The 1972 penny became famous for a particular variety of minting error that resulted in what collectors now call the 1972 double die penny. This particular error occurred when the dies used to strike the coin were misaligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck more than once in slightly different positions. As a result, the features on the coin, specifically the inscription Liberty and the date 1972, were doubled, creating a distinctive and noticeable error on the obverse of the coin. The doubling effect is most pronounced in the letters of Liberty and the date 1972. When examined closely, you can see the ghostly outline of each letter and number, which gives the coin its unique appearance. This error, while not hugely obvious to the untrained eye, became a sensation among coin collectors, who realized that this doubling effect marked a rare mistake during the minting process. And in the world of numismatics, rare errors are highly prized. At first, the 1972 double die penny might have seemed like just another small mistake in the production of American coins. However, it quickly became clear that this particular error was special. Unlike some other minting mistakes that might happen occasionally, the 1972 double die penny is one of the most recognizable and sought-after error coins in American history. In fact, it has become a cornerstone of many coin collections, and finding one in good condition is a thrilling experience for collectors. So, why does the 1972 double die penny command such attention and fascination among collectors? It's all about rarity, historical context, and the unique nature of the error itself. The 1972 double die is rare because not all pennies from that year exhibit the doubling effect. In fact, only a small percentage of 1972 pennies were struck with this error, which makes them incredibly scarce. Additionally, the nature of the error, where the doubling is visible in such critical features like liberty and the date, makes it stand out even more. This isn't just a random mistake in the design, it's a characteristic that makes each coin unique, but rarity alone doesn't determine the value of a coin. The condition of the coin plays an equally important role. A 1972 double-die penny that has been well preserved, free from wear, scratches, and discoloration, is far more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated. Coins that retain their original luster, with clear and distinct doubling on the lettering, are considered to be in mint condition. For collectors, finding a 1972 double-die penny in such a pristine state is a rare and thrilling discovery. Now, you might be wondering how much a 1972 double-die penny is worth. While most 1972 pennies are still worth just 1 cent, those that exhibit the doubling error can be worth far more, often hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the coin's condition and its specific features. For a penny that was originally worth just 1 cent to appreciate so much in value is a testament to the world of coin collecting and how small, seemingly insignificant details can turn a simple coin into a rare and valuable treasure. One such example is a 1972 double-die penny that recently sold for a staggering $165,000. Yes, you read that correctly, a penny, a single 1-cent coin, fetched a jaw-dropping $165,000 at an auction. The coin was in pristine condition, with a clear and well-defined doubling effect that made it one of the finest examples of this rare variety. This particular coin became the centerpiece of a heated bidding war among collectors, with each of them vying for the chance to own such a remarkable piece of American history. This sale was not just a fluke. It was the culmination of years of interest in the 1972 double-die penny, which has been recognized as one of the most iconic era coins in the history of American currency. For those who specialize in coin collecting, this penny is one of the ultimate prizes, a perfect combination of rarity, history, and unique features that make it highly desirable. But the story of the 1972 double-die penny doesn't end with its sale price. This coin represents a broader story about the value of coins in general, and how something as small as a minting error can turn a modest coin into a treasure trove of history and wealth. It's a reminder that even the most seemingly ordinary objects, coins, in this case, can hold incredible value if they contain rare or unique characteristics. The story of the 1972 double-die penny is a great example of how numismatics works. A seemingly minor mistake in the minting process can lead to the creation of a coin that captures the attention of collectors, and its value can skyrocket over time. Coins like these are highly sought after not just for their historical significance, but also for their ability to offer a rare glimpse into the world of coin production and the unintentional mistakes that can happen along the way. So, the next time you find a 1972 penny in your change, take a moment to examine it carefully. Could it be a 1972 double-die penny? If it is, you could be holding onto a coin worth far more than just its face value, perhaps a treasure worth $165,000. Keep in mind that in the world of numismatics, the smallest of details can lead to the biggest rewards. In the end, the 1972 double-die penny is a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary things can come from the most ordinary places. A single penny, once considered worthless, can hold incredible value, and when that penny is part of a rare minting error, it can transform into a piece of history with a price tag that reflects its rarity and beauty. So, always keep an eye out for those small, subtle mistakes. They could lead you to a fortune. The 1987 USA 1-cent penny may seem like a typical, everyday coin, often discarded or overlooked, tucked away in pockets or drawers as part of loose change. Yet, just like many coins that seem commonplace, this particular penny carries with it a fascinating story, one full of history, design evolution, minting quirks, and, most surprisingly, value. You might be asking, how could a 1987 penny, something we see daily, be worth more than just its face value? The answer lies in the world of numismatics, where rare errors and uncommon varieties can turn a simple penny into a small fortune. To understand the true significance of the 1987 1-cent penny, let's rewind a bit to 1987 itself. It was a year that marked pivotal moments in world history. The Cold War was winding down, the world economy was in a state of flux, and the U.S. was led by President Ronald Reagan, who had just secured his second term in office. It was a time of change, and yet, in the midst of this global transformation, the U.S. Mint was continuing to produce coins, including the penny, for the American public to use every day. The penny, or 1-cent coin, has a long and storied history in the United States. Since its introduction in 1793, the penny has been one of the most recognizable pieces of currency in the world. The coin has undergone numerous design changes over the centuries, but since 1909, it has featured the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front, side. Designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, this portrait has become one of the most enduring and iconic representations of an American president. On the reverse, back, side of the penny, however, the design has changed throughout the years. Since 1959, the penny has featured the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of unity and freedom, designed by Frank Gasparo. The Lincoln Memorial reverse continued to appear on pennies throughout the 1980s, including on the 1987 penny, and would remain in place until 2008, when the U.S. Mint began to issue new reverse designs to commemorate the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth. At first glance, the 1987 penny seems like a continuation of the same familiar coin that had been circulating since the late 1950s. There were no major changes in its design from the previous years. It still bore the image of Lincoln, and the reverse side still displayed the iconic Lincoln Memorial. Yet, in the world of coin collecting, this seemingly ordinary penny is anything but typical. There is a specific feature of the 1987 penny that makes it so fascinating and valuable to collectors, a rare minting error that makes some of these coins worth far more than just 1 cent. The 1987 penny became notable among collectors for a particular variety that occurred during the minting process. A small but significant mistake happened during the striking of some of these coins, resulting in what's known as a doubled die error. This error occurred when the dies used to strike the penny were misaligned during the minting process, causing the design to be imprinted more than once in slightly different positions. As a result, certain features on the coin, particularly the date, 1987, and the word Liberty, appeared doubled or shifted. The double die error can be subtle, but when you know what to look for, it becomes much more apparent. On a typical 1987 penny, the letters in Liberty and the date, 1987, are clearly defined. However, on the error coins, you'll notice a doubling effect, where the letters and numbers are faintly duplicated. This doubling is most noticeable in the upper portions of the letters in Liberty and in the numerals of the date. It's these small details that can make all the difference between a typical penny and one that's worth a small fortune. For collectors, the allure of the 1987 double die penny lies in its rarity and the uniqueness of the error. It's important to note that not all 1987 pennies exhibit this error. Only a small number of these coins were struck with the misaligned dies, which means that finding one is a rare occurrence. And just like with any rare coin, the value of the 1987 double die penny increases significantly due to its scarcity, but rarity is only part of the equation. The condition of the coin is equally important in determining its value. In the world of coin collecting, a penny's grade is crucial. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition fetch far higher prices than those that have been heavily circulated and show signs of wear. The best examples of the 1987 double die penny are those that have been preserved in mint condition, with clear, sharp doubling on the lettering and numbers, and minimal to no signs of wear. So, how much is a 1987 double die penny worth? While most 1987 pennies are still worth just 1 cent, the double die variety can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. The value depends on the severity of the doubling, the overall condition of the coin, and the demand among collectors. However, one particular 1987 double die penny, in near perfect condition, fetched an astounding $150,000 at auction. Yes, a single penny, once worth just 1 cent, was sold for $150,000, a sum that reflects the rarity and demand for this exceptional coin. This remarkable sale is a testament to the extraordinary world of coin collecting, where a simple minting error can lead to a dramatic increase in a coin's value. The 1987 double die penny is one of the most desirable error coins from the 1980s, and collectors eagerly seek it out. And for those who are fortunate enough to discover one, the rewards can be immense. For coin collectors, finding a 1987 double die penny is akin to discovering a hidden treasure. The excitement that comes with identifying this rare error and the potential windfall it can bring is one of the reasons why people are so passionate about numismatics. In fact, the thrill of the hunt for rare coins is one of the things that makes coin collecting so enjoyable. And while most people may never find a coin worth $150,000, the possibility of stumbling upon a rare and valuable piece of American history is always a tempting prospect. The 1987 double-die penny serves as a reminder of the fascinating world of coin collecting and the unexpected riches that can be hidden in plain sight. A penny that seems like nothing more than pocket change to most people could, in fact, be a valuable collector's item, worth much more than its face value. The story of the 1987 double-die penny is one of rarity, excitement, and discovery, and a reminder that sometimes the smallest mistakes can lead to the greatest rewards. So, the next time you come across a 1987 penny in your change, take a moment to examine it carefully. Could it be one of the rare double-die errors? If it is, you might be holding a coin worth far more than just 1 cent, a coin that could potentially fetch up to $150,000 at auction. In the end, the story of the 1987 double-die penny is a perfect example of how the world of coin collecting works. A subtle error, a small misalignment in the minting process, can turn an ordinary penny into a rare and valuable treasure. And for those who are lucky enough to find one, the rewards can be incredible. So, keep an eye out for those rare coins in your change. You never know when you might stumble upon a hidden gem that's worth a small fortune. The year 2000 was a monumental one for the world in many ways. It marked the dawn of a new millennium, an event that people around the globe had been anticipating for years, and one that brought both excitement and anxiety. For the United States, the year was full of changes and challenges, with political shifts and the rapid advance of technology reshaping the country. Yet, even as the world looked toward the future, something remarkable and, in some ways, quite ordinary was taking place at the U.S. Mint, the production of a coin that would go on to capture the imaginations of collectors and numismatists alike, a seemingly unassuming penny, the 2000 U.S. 1-cent piece. Little did anyone know that this tiny coin, worth only 1 cent, would one day be worth a small fortune. The 2000 penny was not initially viewed as anything particularly special. After all, pennies had been in circulation in the United States for over 2 centuries, and the design had remained largely the same for decades. Since 1909, the obverse of the penny had featured the image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, was depicted in profile, his face framed by a flowing beard, an image that had become a symbol of American currency. On the reverse side, the penny had long displayed the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a design that was first introduced in 1959 to honor Lincoln's legacy and commemorate the 150th anniversary of his birth. In the year 2000, however, something unique was taking place at the U.S. Mint. While the penny still bore the familiar likeness of Lincoln and the revered Lincoln Memorial, some subtle changes were occurring in the way these coins were being produced. Among the many coins minted that year, the 2000 penny stands out because of a few rare features that would make it a highly sought-after collector's item in the years to come. To understand why, we need to take a closer look at the details of this coin and the factors that led to its remarkable rise in value. For most of us, a penny is just a penny. It's easy to dismiss the 1-cent coin as insignificant in today's economy, where the value of money is often measured in larger denominations. But for collectors, every coin tells a story, and the story of the 2000 penny is a story of a remarkable error that would go unnoticed by the general public but would captivate the world of numismatics. As with many coins, a small flaw or variation in the minting process can lead to an error that makes the coin incredibly rare and valuable. And that's exactly what happened with the 2000 penny. At first, these pennies were produced like any other year, and they were largely indistinguishable from the millions of pennies that had come before them. However, due to a subtle error in the design, certain 2000 pennies were struck with a unique feature that caught the attention of coin collectors. This error was not immediately noticed, but it would soon make the 2000 penny one of the most famous and sought-after coins in the numismatic world. The key to the 2000 penny's significance lies in a mistake that occurred during the production process: the doubling of the design. This doubling, which is most prominent in the date, 2000, and the word, liberty, was caused by a problem with the die used to strike the coins. A die is a tool that imprints the design onto a blank coin, and if a die is damaged or misaligned, it can result in a doubled image on the coin. In the case of the 2000 penny, a limited number of coins were struck with this doubled die, and it became known as the 2000 doubled die penny. The doubled die error was not immediately obvious to the naked eye, but with a careful examination, the telltale signs became apparent. The doubling effect is most noticeable in the numbers of the year 2000, where the digits appear faintly duplicated. The word liberty also shows signs of doubling, with a slight overlap between the letters. These subtle, but unmistakable, duplications give the 2000 penny its unique appearance, and collectors soon recognized its value. The presence of a doubling error on a coin can make a huge difference in its value. Most of the 2000 pennies were produced without any such error, so the coins with the doubled die became an anomaly, an example of a minting mistake that made the coin both rare and desirable. For collectors, finding a coin with such an error is akin to stumbling upon a hidden treasure, and the 2000 doubled die penny quickly gained recognition as one of the most prized error coins of the late 20th century. As the years passed, interest in the 2000 doubled die penny continued to grow. Collectors scoured their change, searching for these rare error coins, and some even began to pay a premium for them. The coin's value steadily increased as more people became aware of its rarity, and as demand for the penny grew, so did its price. The 2000 doubled die penny has continued to capture the imagination of collectors and enthusiasts alike. While most of the 2000 pennies still circulate as common 1-cent pieces, those with the double die error are highly sought after. The value of these coins can vary depending on their condition, but well-preserved examples in near-mint condition can fetch impressive prices. A 2000 doubled die penny in excellent condition could easily sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at a reputable auction, but the most significant sales have come from those that have been graded as perfect or near-perfect examples. And then, there's the 2000 doubled die penny that set a record. One particular coin, in almost flawless condition, was sold at an auction for an astounding $135,000. Yes, a penny, a single 1-cent coin, was sold for a sum that most people could hardly imagine. This extraordinary sale made headlines and cemented the 2000 double die penny's place in numismatic history as one of the most valuable error coins ever produced. For those fortunate enough to own one of these rare pennies, the rewards are beyond imagination, but even for those of us who simply admire the coin from a distance, its story is nothing short of remarkable. So, how did this small mistake in the minting process lead to such a significant financial reward? The answer lies in the rarity and desirability of the coin. A coin that features a doubled die error is not just a simple misprint, it's a piece of history, a tangible connection to the craftsmanship, and sometimes the flaws, of the U.S. Mint. The rarity of the 2000 double die penny, combined with its unique design flaw and the growing interest from collectors, made it a highly sought-after item in the numismatic world. As the story of this particular coin continues to spread, more people are becoming aware of its potential value, and the 2000 double die penny continues to be a key player in the world of rare coins. For collectors, owning a 2000 double die penny is a prize, something that represents both a rare find and a significant piece of numismatic history. Whether it's the thrill of the hunt or the joy of owning a rare and valuable coin, the 2000 penny has become a symbol of the world of coin collecting, where small details and rare errors can turn a seemingly ordinary object into an extraordinary treasure. The story of the 2000 double die penny is a reminder that the value of a coin is not always determined by its face value or its everyday circulation. Sometimes, a tiny error can elevate a coin to legendary status, and in the case of the 2000 penny, that error has made it worth a small fortune. For anyone who has ever wondered how a penny could be worth more than just 1 cent, the answer lies in the world of numismatics, where rarity, history, and the smallest of details can create coins worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, the next time you find a 2000 penny in your pocket change, take a moment to inspect it closely. Could you be holding on to a 2000 double die penny? If you are, you might be in possession of a rare and valuable piece of American history, one that could be worth $135,000 or more. The next time you come across a 2000 penny, remember that sometimes, hidden in the most unlikely places, extraordinary treasures await those who know where to look.